Healdsburg Prune Packers for a 7-inning game. Starting lineup for the Crawdads from St. Mary's, center fielder number 27.
Welcome in, everybody, to Healdsburg, California. Alondise here with you for all 7 innings tonight. You got that right, just 7 innings. Just a 7-inning game because this game ultimately will not affect playoff seeding. Both these two teams, the Healdsburg Prune Packers, who are hosting tonight in Healdsburg, California, have already qualified. They're the number 2 seed overall. Number 1 are the Conejo Oaks. The Crawdads are the number 4 seed. So those are the two teams from the north that have qualified. The reason the Crawdads were able to qualify without having to win this game was Sunday they were able to walk off Sonoma against the Stompers in Danville, California. So able to gut out a much-needed victory on Sunday as well. They were able to get some help. Lincoln losing to Solano. So the Crawdads are in. They will play on Thursday, August 4th, the playoffs in San Luis Obispo from the 4th through the 6th. The 10 a.m. game, that's the Crawdads' first game in the playoffs. It's double elimination until you get to the finals where it's just a winner-take-all game, but the Crawdads will be facing off against the number 5 seed OC Riptide. The Prune Packers, they're the number 2 seed. They will be taking on the San Luis Obispo Blues in the evening game down there. Home of the Blues, of course, is Sinsheimer Park, so that's what's on the docket coming up in the playoffs for these two teams. So no playoff seeding on the line here. Both teams have qualified, so they're just going to play a 7-inning game and try to put a good product on the field and be impressive in the last regular season of this 2022 CCL season. So the last game of the regular season for both teams and the season finale for the CCL as a league. So the Crawdads looking to finish things right with a win here on the road. They're 25-20 overall, 18-15 in league. The Prune Packers 36-10 overall, 24-9 in CCL North play. The teams taking the field here for the national anthem. We'll have that for you.
Great privilege and honor to have Neil Rogers here again tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
National anthem in the books. Teams ready to play. The lineups tonight for both teams. We'll start with the visiting Crawdads. Coleman Schmidt in center field batting leadoff. Tyson Corrio, the second baseman, batting in the 2 spot. Joey Donnelly, the designated hitter, batting 3. The cleanup hitter is Brian DeRoff, the first baseman. Jack Ben-Shoshan in left, batting 5th. Cameron Calvillo, the shortstop, batting 6th. Joe Barnhart over at 3rd. He's batting 7th. Andrew McKenna is going to be catching tonight for the Crawdads, batting 8th. And the number 9 hitter is Casey Cummings, the right fielder. Antoine Valerio on the mound tonight in his second start of the season for the Crawdads, his first game here in Healdsburg, a game that the Crawdads were able to be victorious in, and a game that they really needed. They are now clinched, are the Crawdads, for the playoffs, so they have the number 2 spot in the CCL North, the number 4 seed overall. For the Prune Packers, their lineup: Jake Holcroft, the designated hitter, Zach Vuletich at second, he's batting 2nd. The third baseman, Joey Kramer, he's a real big power threat with the bat. He's batting 3rd. Blake Burke, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Sam Brown in right, batting 5th. Jared Sundstrom batting 6th. He's in center. Braden Runyon in left, batting 7th. Carson Crawford, the shortstop, batting 8th. And Liam Little, the catcher, batting ninth. On the mound for them is A.J. Ehrlicher. Ehrlicher was drafted this summer, but he did not sign his offer, so he is back, and he's going to go back to college. Ehrlicher on the season, no wins, no losses, but a 3.27 ERA. 3.37, excuse me. This is his 7th game that he's appeared in, his 5th start. So he's made 4 previous starts. He's thrown 16 innings, 15 strikeouts, 8 walks, 15 hits. But Ehrlicher, a very good pitcher, the 6'5 righty from Santa Rosa Junior College. So see what Ehrlicher has tonight in a 7-inning ball game. Don't anticipate either of these starters, Valerio for the Crawdads or Ehrlicher for the Prune Packers, going very deep. But you never know. You don't know with the pacing of the game, how many pitches they end up throwing. Sure, both managers, Joey Gomes for the Prune Packers and manager Brant Cummings for the Crawdads, would like to see their men go about at least 3 or 4 innings, but we will see. That would be roughly half the game, as this game is just 7 innings. And the season finale for not just both these teams, but the final regular season game in this 2022 CCL season with the playoffs looming. Those start on Thursday, August 4th. So here is Coleman Schmidt leading things off for the Crawdads in Healdsburg, California, against the Prune Packers. Schmidt comes in hitting .311, 10 home runs, 37 RBIs. He's leading off today. Although we have seen some tinkering with the lineup lately. We've seen Ryan Ellis, who's not in the lineup this evening. We've seen him lead off a couple of times. He led off against Lincoln on Saturday, a game that the Crawdads had to have, and they were able to win in blowout fashion. The first pitch to Schmidt is in there for a strike. First pitch at 6:09 here in Healdsburg. Not blisteringly hot as it has been in the past. The 0-1 pitch to Schmidt, and he checks on this. It misses away. Now, Schmidt has been consistent all season for the Crawdads. The strikeout numbers have been high, but you can't argue with the results. The 1-1 pitch to Schmidt, and this bounces in the dirt all the way to the catcher Little, and the count 2-1. Now, the Crawdads have already clinched a playoff spot. They really helped themselves out right in a 5-game winning streak into this ball game. And the 2-1 from Ehrlicher to Schmidt, and that's a strike. The count 2-2. Good fastball on display there from Ehrlicher. So the Dads will travel to San Luis Obispo Wednesday evening, spend the night there, and then get to the ballpark for an early game on Thursday at 10 a.m. This pitch misses high. The count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyson Corrio, who's been one of the best hitters for the Crawdads as of late, is on deck as this is hit on the ground over to the shortstop. Crawford makes a nice throw to first to get Schmidt one away.
Next for the Crawdads from Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, second baseman number 13, Tyson Corrio.
Oh, here comes Tyson Corrio, who's hitting .292. He's got that batting average awfully high now. There was a point in the season where he was hitting below .220 for a while, but he's just been so red hot lately. Batting from the left side is the switch hitting Corrio against the righty Ehrlicher. The first pitch to Corrio, and he taps this, but foul. The count 0-1. Corrio's had the power on display recently as well. Hit some home runs. He's shown good speed. He had a triple here the last time the Crawdads were here. 0-1 pitch. Corrio jams this foul. And the count 0-2. Ehrlicher has a sign from Little. Little asking for the ball high. Let's see where it ends up. And that just, no, that's in there. Late third strike call, and Corrio's punched out looking. Looked like it was just a tad high, but it was good enough for strike number 3. So Corrio offering a little resistance there. Here comes the number 3 hitter, Joey Donnelly. He's the designated hitter, hitting .215, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. Donnelly, the lefty batsman, in the box. And the pitch to Donnelly. He checks on it. Misses low. The count 1-0. The defense tonight for the Prune Packers. Ehrlicher on the mound. Little catching him. And then Burke at first. Vuletic at second. Kramer at third. Carson Crawford, the shortstop. And the outfield from left to right, it's Runyon, Sundstrom. As the pitch comes in here, and that hits the zone. The count even at 1-1. And in right field, it is Sam Brown. Not Joe Brown, his brother, but Sam Brown. And that is the defense for Healdsburg. Healdsburg, who had the best season out of all of the Northern Division teams. The 1-1 pitch, and Donnelly takes in. The count 2-1. So the Crawdads really ended the season hot. I mean, on fire with some walk-off wins. The decimation in Lincoln. They were really able to put a lot of offense on display there for the fans on Star Wars night. The 2-1 pitch. This is beat into the ground. Takes a hop over to the shortstop, Crawford. Makes a nice throw on the run over to first to get Donnelly. So the Crawdads go down 1-2-3. Easy inning of work for A.J. Ehrlicher on the mound. We'll see if Antoine Valerio, the starter for the Crawdads, can do the same. Bottom of the first, still scoreless. More Crawdads baseball coming up next after the break on the Crawdads streaming network. Bottom of the first, Crawdads not able to get on the scoreboard just yet. It is 0-0. Antoine Valerio going to make his second start of the summer for the Crawdads, and it will ultimately be his last start as he is scheduled to go on vacation after this start, the final game of the season. And Holcroft, the leadoff hitter, fouls us away. The count 0-1. Valerio, just that one start, but it was a good one. The ERA up at 6, but he pitched 3 strong innings, just gave up 2 runs against Healdsburg in a game that the Crawdads needed to have, as this pitch misses high, and they ended up winning the game thanks to Gabe Tanner out of the bullpen, who combined, so they used 2 pitchers that evening. This pitch is hanging. Holcroft hits it high into left field. Coming in is Jack Ben Shoshan, and he has it for out number 1. Here comes Zach Vuletic. Crawdads have played the Prune Packers very tough this season. At one point, the Prune Packers had only lost one game at Recreation Park this summer, as this misses low. They count 1-0 to Vuletic, but they had only lost one game here in the Crawdads during this 5-game winning streak that they're in right now. They were the second loss for the Prune Packers at home. This pitch misses low, the count 2-0. Before that last at-bat, Holcroft was hitting .382 with 5 home runs and 39 RBIs, so a good job by Valerio to retire him. This pitch misses away, the count 3-0. Vuletic at the plate, hitting .349, so a great season for him. 6 home runs, 24 driven in. Valerio looking for a strike. The pitch, and that finds the zone. The count 3-1. The defense for the Crawdads this evening in this 7-inning ball game. Valerio on the mound. The other end of the battery is Andrew McKenna catching the 3-1 pitch. This misses low, and that's a walk for Vuletic. So Vuletic now on first. The rest of the defense, DeRoth, the first baseman, Corrio at second, Barnhart, the third baseman, Calvillo at short, Jack Ben Shoshan, who made the first out of this half inning, is in left, Coleman Schmidt in center, and Casey Cummings in right. So able to get rid of Holcroft, but then having trouble with the command against Vuletic is Valerio. And here's Joey Kramer. 1 away, 0-0, and taking off is Vuletic to throw low. McKenna throw looked like a pretty good one over to second, but just beating it out is Vuletic, so he has a stolen base. For Vuletic, that is stolen base number 13. Kramer, a very dangerous hitter, the best hitter on this Prune Packers team. The pitch, that's in there. Count 1-1, but Kramer hitting .399, has a chance to finish the season above 400 if he has a good game tonight. But you got to watch out for the power as well. 10 home runs, 47 driven in. He's led the league in a number of categories this season. The 1-1 pitch, and this bounces up to McKenna. The count 2-1, but Kramer, one of the best things about him, doesn't strike out a whole lot with that power. Comparable power to Coleman Schmidt, but about half the strikeouts with just 23. The 2-1 pitch, and this misses outside, gets by McKenna. He was not able to snag it with the mitt, and advancing to third is Zach Vuletic. So a runner at third with 1 away. 3-1 pitch coming up to Joey Kramer. McKenna has had a little bit of trouble this season trying to pick balls with the glove. He's great at blocking pitches, but every once in a while he's not able to put the squeeze on something that a player of his caliber usually doesn't have too much trouble with. The 3-1 pitch, and that misses in. And that is back-to-back walks rendered by the right arm of Antoine Valerio. So runners on the corners, Kramer over at first, Vuletic at third, and here is Blake Burke, one of the best prospects in all of college baseball, one of the best players in the CCL this summer. He hails from Tennessee, big 6'3" lefty slugger. He's got a chance to do damage with 1 away. The pitch to Burke, he goes right after it, pops it up very high, but out of play on the left side. Burke hitting .297, 6 home runs, 35 RBIs. Valerio doing a good job against him here, though, early. Saw Valerio get into a little bit of trouble in his first start in Healdsburg, but he was able to settle down nicely. And the pitch to Burke. Burke takes a whack at it, hits it into short left field. Going into a dive is Jack Ben Shoshan. He gets by him. He's quickly up with it, but a run scores. It is 1-0 Healdsburg. A good effort out there in left by Jack Ben Shoshan. Just wasn't able to get the ball. Kind of fell out of the glove and luckily didn't roll away from him. But it's 1-0 Healdsburg here in the bottom of the first with still just 1 away. That is RBI number 36 for Blake Burke. Coming around to score was Zach Vuletich, and here's Sam Brown. Sam and his brother Joe, both on this team this summer for the Prune Packers. First pitch here to Sam. He pops it up about a mile high, but that'll land over by the Barnes. The count 0-1. Brown hitting .305. 4 home runs, 27 RBIs. And he's got a couple of runners on to work with. Runners at first and second. Valerio has walked a couple of men so far in the bottom of the first. The 0-1 pitch from Valerio, and he spikes this. And the count 1-1. Kramer at second. Burke just drove in the first run of this evening's ball game. Healdsburg with an early 1-0 lead. The 1-1 pitch, and this is chopped on the ground, but foul in front of the Crawdads dugout. The count 1-2. The Crawdads tonight playing in the red tops with the gray pants. The Prune Packers, the white pants, and the maroon-colored jerseys. Crawdads have found success at times against the Prune Packers, trying to do so once again tonight. This pitch misses outside. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Valerio, a late season addition for this team. Really having to add him because of some depletion on the pitching staff. And the 2-2. This is hit, but off the leg of Brown. And it looks like he's all right. Walked that one off. Count still 2-2. But Valerio was successful in his first start, even though he was only able to go 3 innings against Healdsburg. He's trying to give the Crawdads some length here tonight in just a 7-inning ball game. Cameron Calvillo, also one of those great late additions for manager Brent Cummings. The 2-2 pitch, and Valerio hangs one. It's hit deep to left field, but foul. Off the end of the bat, but it's so short out there in left. They do not have the footage stamped on the left field fence. Saw Brian DeRoff when the Crawdads were here. The last game they played here in Healdsburg when he hit that monstrous 3-run homer. I landed on someone's roof across the street. It's very deep to center, however. And 336 to right. Probably about 420 to center. This pitch misses high. The count 3-2 as Valerio does a little hop off the mound. I think he wanted to get that ball a little bit lower. So this, the only game in play tonight in the CCL. And just a beautiful evening for the CCL's finale. Before the playoffs start, of course. Payoff pitch to Brown. Brown swings and misses. A strikeout for Valerio. Now that's out number 2. Valerio needed a punch out there with a couple of runners on. He gets one. It's still 1-0 Healdsburg. And after the strikeout of Sam Brown, it's Jared Sundstrom who's batting 6th tonight. Sundstrom, a JUCO player. But he really leaves it all out there every game for this team. Seen the average dip a bit. Sitting .291, but he does lead the CCL in homers, 14 of them, along with 38 driven in. First pitch to Sundstrom bounces up to McKenna. The count 1-0. Seen Sundstrom hurt the Crawdads in a multitude of ways, whether it's been with the bat or some of the robberies he's made, especially in Danville against the right field fencing. Remember, he leapt up and snagged one. The 1-0 pitch to Sundstrom. This misses outside. The count 2-0. So for the Crawdads, who are the number 4 seed in the CCL playoffs, the projected starter is Hollis Fanning for that 10 a.m. game against the OC Riptide. We will, of course, have that game for you here on the Crawdads streaming network. The 2-0 pitch to Sundstrom, and he hits this hard. And it is into left field. Took a short hop off the dirt. The throw back in from Benshaw, but another run scores. So RBI number 39 for Sundstrom. It is 2-0 Healdsburg. Figure Sundstrom is going to get some offers from some big schools coming here. He's done a good job of hitting very good pitching in the CCL, and they have to love his defense as well. Oh, two away. And here is the left fielder, Braden Runyon. First pitch to Runyon. This runs away. Count 1-0. Runyon hitting .329, 3 big flies, 1 RBI shy of 20. This pitch to Runyon, hit over to the third baseman Barnhart, who goes the easy way to second, but maybe it wasn't that easy because they do not get the out. Well, Corrio looked like he had his foot on the bag, but maybe the throw just not in time, and that's indeed what it looks like. And here comes manager Brant Cummings out to maybe have a discussion with, looking for a moment like he was going to walk to the mound, try to calm Valerio down. Instead, he's going to talk to the umpire out there in the field about what happened, and the umpire signals that the throw was late. So the bases now loaded.
Shortstop number 10, Carson Crawford.
Burke at third, Sundstrom at second, Runyon over at first. Here's Carson Crawford, who takes pitch number 1 from Valerio in this at-bat for strike number 1. Crawford hitting .250, his 27th game of the season, and he lines this into center. Is that going to get down? Coleman Schmidt goes into a dive, and he has it. What a play by Coleman Schmidt, taking away multiple runs there from the Prune Packers. But they are up 2-0, so Healdsburg leads here after 1. Crawdads with a little bit of work cut out for them heading into the top of the second. They'll be back up to bat here on the Crawdads streaming network. Top of the second inning, along to say here with you from Healdsburg, California. There's a new pitcher on the mound for Healdsburg. It is Mason Dillo. So Ehrlich's brief night is over. Just goes 1 inning. Obviously, they want to save him for the playoffs. They're going to need him. But Mason Dillo now coming in. Righty arm for Joey Gomes out of UVA. He's 3-0 with a 6.44 ERA. This is his 8th appearance, 22 1/3 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, 15 walks issued, along with 22 hits. He has seen the Crawdads once this season. That was back on June 17th, a 7-3 win for the Prune Packers. For the Crawdads, it's 4, 5, and 6. Brian Duroff, Jack Ben-Shoshan, and Cameron Calvillo. Duroff hitting .322, 4 home runs, 31 RBIs. The first pitch to Duroff. So breaking ball in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Duroff If he sees something hanging up high in the zone, you know he's going to go after it, especially here in Healdsburg where he had that big home run. And a swing for the fences there from Duroff. He fouls this away. The count 0-2. Oh, it's 2-0 Healdsburg, but still early. Both of these teams have qualified for the postseason. The 0-2 pitch to Duroff. This misses high. Good eye from Bryan. The count 1-2. So in the bottom of the first, the Prune Packers able to get some good at-bats out of Blake Burke and Jared Sundstrom, who both collected RBIs. The 1-2 pitch, and Duroff was looking to change things up on the scoreboard with that swing, but caught out in front of a good off-speed pitch there, and Duroff is down on strikes. Well, that'll bring up Jack Ben-Shoshan. The Crawdads still looking for their first base runner of the evening. Jack Ben-Shoshan hitting .244, a home run, 10 RBIs. And this pitch in there for a strike, the count 0-1. Ben-Sho, though, has also shown that he can be very versatile out of the bullpen. He is the franchise leader in strikeouts in an appearance on the mound for the Crawdads with 11, and he takes a big rip here. Fouls it into the mitt of Liam Little. The count 0-2. Ben-Sho also has some pretty good speed if he gets on the bases. He has 8 stolen bags this season. The Crawdads just trying to put a good product out here tonight. The 0-2 pitch to Ben-Sho, and that rings him up. Kind of leaned out of the way there. He thought that pitch was a little in, but that was right over the heart of the plate. That's back-to-back punch-outs for Dillo out of the pen here in the second. So Dillo just one strikeout away from a nice even 30 this summer. Here's Cameron Calvillo. First pitch to Calvillo. This comes in and hits him, and the Crawdads have their first base runner of the night. I didn't even give a chance to congratulate Cameron on his walk-off RBI on Sunday. In that at-bat until he was plunked. So here is Joe Barnhart, who's at third tonight for the Dads. First pitch to Barnhart. This misses low. Calvillo, though, who's now at first in limited action for the Crawdads, just his 8th game. He's hitting .407. So he can be very troublesome for opposing pitchers. Barnhart hitting below 200. He's at 172. There's a home run and 3 RBIs. We know he's very powerful. Just got to put lumber to baseball here. Big swing and a miss. The count 1-1. 2 outs. 1-1 pitch on the way to Barnhart. Calvillo over at first. And the Crawdads down by 2. It's 2-0 Healdsburg. The 1-1 pitch to Barnhart. This bounces low. Good block there by Little. No Kimball Schuessler for the Prune Packers, so it's Liam Little. Kimball Schuessler probably has the claim as the best catcher in the CCL this season. I don't think there'd be too much arguing over that. The 2-1 from Dillo, and a big swing and a bigger miss from Barnhart. The count 2-2. Dillo is fooling these hitters, going low and away. Just missed a location against Calvillo and hit him. 2s all over that scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second. 2-0 Healdsburg. The pitch to Barnhart. Barnhart waves at it. It's in the dirt, and he is out. So 2 strikeouts to start things off for Dillo. Then he hit Calvillo, but struck out Barnhart. The Crawdads not really able to get anything going offensively yet in this ball game. It's 2-0 Healdsburg. Bottom of the second coming up. And Antoine Valerio back on the mound for Walnut Creek. Bottom of the second. Valerio back on the mound. It's 9-1-2 for the Prune Packers. Liam Little leading off here, and he takes a strike. The count 0-1. It's Little, Holcroft, and Vuletic. Little, the catcher tonight, still looking for his first hit in conference play this season. So he has not registered a hit against CCL North opponents. This is the 9th game that he's participated against CCL North competition. On the season, he's hitting just .059, so under 100 on the batting average. Pitch outside. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 to Little, and he's punched out looking. Sit him down, Valerio. A 1 away in the bottom of the second, excuse me. It's 2-0 Healdsburg. Do apologize for the lack of scoreboard on the broadcast tonight. Efforting to get that working. But Valerio, a nice bounce back there after getting tagged for a couple of runs in his first inning of work, and the first pitch to Holcroft. Misses outside. The count 1-0. Holcroft 0 for 1. He's a designated hitter this evening for Healdsburg. This pitch, trying to frame it, was McKenna, but it misses out. And the count 2-0. Really want to see an active glove tonight from McKenna. The 2-0 pitch, and that's good for a strike. Knee high on the outside corner. The count 2-1. So the Crawdads trying to get through this game healthy. And waved at and missed there. Really changing things up on Holcroft was Valerio. I think Valerio may have missed a location with that breaking ball, but it didn't matter. 2-2 pitch. Valerio working quickly, and this misses in the dirt. The count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But both teams, not just the Crawdads, but Healdsburg as well, they want to be healthy in this game. Nothing funky happened. Both these teams want to be as close as they possibly can be to full strength when they head to San Luis Obispo. Playoffs start on Thursday. The 3-2 pitch, and Holcroft yanks this into right. It gets down. Cummings has it, but Holcroft is over at first. So the pull side power showing off there for Jake Holcroft. He really reached out and got that ball and just showed off how powerful he is, able to pull it. Holcroft now 1 for 2. With 1 away here in the bottom of the second, he's on first. And here's Zach Vuletic, who walked in his first plate appearance and quickly stole second. A pickoff move over to first. Vuletic came around to score. Kramer also came around to score. Both of those runs that were scored by the Prune Packers were men on base who were walked by Valerio. Another throw over to first, but back in safely is Holcroft. Vuletic being forced to wait here against the crafty righty Antoine Valerio, who has played for two teams this season. This pitch, a fastball, high in the zone, but a strike. The count 0-1. He played for the Bay Area Force, actually beat the Crawdads at the start of the season in a non-CCL game, and now he has helped the Crawdads in their playoff push to San Luis Obispo. The 0-1 pitch, and running is Holcroft. A good strong throw from McKenna. Is it there in time? It's not. So some good arm action from McKenna behind the plate tonight, but these Healdsburg Prune Packer base runners, I mean, they are quick and they're sliding in under every tag. So another stolen base given up by the Crawdads at a runner in scoring position with just 1 away. With that stolen base, Holcroft now has 18. This, a fastball on the outside black for strike number 2. The count 1-2 to the righty second baseman, Zach Vuletic. Crawdads are usually the team that likes to get in on the running game first, but tonight the Prune Packers taking it to them on the base paths. The 1-2 pitch, and Valerio misses outside. A nice snag there from the catcher McKenna. Momentarily, he looked behind him to see if that got by. But I think McKenna knew all the way that he had that in the mitt. He collects some dirt now. McKenna's had to make a few throws over to second. Not able to gun anybody down yet. Looking back to second is Valerio. Antoine does a double take, kicks and deals, and this, a slider that bounces to McKenna. Count 3-2. So we're expecting to see multiple pitchers tonight for the Crawdads, even though it's just a 7-inning game. Casey Cummings might make an appearance on the mound. He's in right field right now. Colson Abel, who just pitched on Saturday against Lincoln, he might get a nod. The payoff pitch, and this is popped foul. Diamond Loosely may be called in to eat up some innings in relief, so expect to see a bullpen game this evening from the Crawdads, and we're already seeing that from the Prune Packers, who went from Ehrlicher now to Mason Dillo. Valerio shakes off McKenna. McKenna puts down a new set of signs. Valerio likes those signals. Takes a big deep breath and fires. That just misses low. And that's another walk given up by Valerio, the second one to Vuletic. So Vuletic's been on base a couple of times now, showing some good plate discipline. Valerio has now walked 3 men in an inning and a third. 2-0 Healdsburg here in Healdsburg, California. Pleasant evening. Not up in the hundreds like it has been before. Slight breeze blowing in from left. Kind of swirling out there. And the pitch to Kramer. Kramer takes for a strike. The count 0-1. Runners on first and second. Vuletic at first. Holcroft over at second, who had his 18th stolen base of the season after he was able to rope one into right. Kramer foul tips this back into the cage. Count 0-2. McKenna liked that pitch. I think Valerio put a little extra on a fastball there, really ramping it up. Kramer in his first at-bat, he walked and came around to score. 0-2 pitch. Kramer swings and misses. And another strikeout for Valerio. Oh, a good job by Valerio to take care of Joey Kramer, who leads the CCL in home runs this season with 14 of them. Or, excuse me, he's second on the team for Healdsburg. He has 10, but Jared Sundstrom has 14 home runs. And here's Blake Burke. So a lot of power in this lineup for Healdsburg. But nonetheless, a good job by Valerio to retire Kramer. First pitch to the big Blake Burke, a man from Tennessee. Misses low, the count 1-0. Burke has an RBI single tonight. He's 1 for 1. Burke playing in his 32nd game this season for the Prune Packers. The 1-0 pitch, this runs in, and this actually hits Burke. That's something you don't want to see tonight in a game that doesn't have any playoff implications attached to it. You don't want to see players get hit. Just hope everybody's healthy. The bases are now loaded, however, against Antoine Valerio in a 2-0 ball game that Healdsburg leads. So Burke still 1 for 1. An RBI single and now a hit by pitch. And here's Sam Brown, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Wonder if we'll see Joe Brown tonight, Sam's brother. Pitch here to Sam, and Brown takes outside, but it's called a strike. I think Brown thought that was a ball. Looked like it was about an inch off from here. But Valerio ahead. The 0-1 pitch, and this is hit softly into left center. It bounces. Benshaw having some trouble getting it. Now he has to reach down for a third time, and 2 runs score. So a 2 RBI base knock for Sam Brown. And now you really got problems to deal with as the home run leader in the CCL comes up to the plate. 14 home runs for Jared Sundstrom, and he already has an RBI hit tonight. Runners at first and second. Burke over at second. Brown now with the 2 RBIs to his name over at first. Sundstrom takes for strike 1. Crawdads' opponent in the playoffs at 10 a.m. will be the OC Riptide. The number 1 seed, the Caneo Oaks, as the 0-1 comes in and just misses out. Count even at 1-1, but the Caneo Oaks, the top overall seed, they will play either the OC Riptide or the Walnut Creek Crawdads at 2:30 p.m. on Thursday. Multiple games being played each day in the CCL playoffs as this is fouled back. The count 1-2. So the first seed, the way that works is you don't want to call it a bye day because they still have to play that day. They just don't have to play in that very opening round. It's the way it works in a double elimination tournament with 5 teams. And the loser of that game will end up playing another opponent, but they won't be sure of who they play until after all the games on Thursday have concluded. The count's still 1-2 after another foul ball. But the solidified matchups, the OC Riptide, the 5 seed against the Walnut Creek Crawdads, Caneo Oaks in waiting, and the Prune Packers against the number 3 seed, San Luis Obispo Blues, and able to get a swing and a miss there out of Sundstrom is Valerio. So Valerio has walked some men. He's also hit Blake Burke in this past inning of work, but the strikeout stuff has looked good. He gets a strikeout, but it's 4-0. Healdsburg, they've been able to score 2 in the first, now 2 in the bottom of the second. The Crawdads need to get those bats started when we come back for the top of the third here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Welcome back to Healdsburg. Alon to say here, the Prune Packers leading your Walnut Creek Crawdads 4-0. Top of the third about to get underway. The third pitcher now employed by the Prune Packers is taking them out. He's just finishing his warm-ups. It's Grant Sherry, the righty from Tennessee, sophomore over in Knoxville. He's 2-2 with a 5.81 ERA. This is his 13th appearance. 11 have been out of the bullpen. He does have 1 start. He also has a save. He's thrown 21 2/3 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts to 28 walks, and 15 hits. So bullpen day today for Healdsburg. They're already on their 3rd pitcher of the evening. Might as well start giving you the final lines. It's going to be a lot of final lines to keep up with. I don't know if Point Streak is going to be able to keep track of it. Here's the catcher, Andrew McKenna, who fights one off at the hands. Fouls it away. The count 0-1. Ehrlicher went an inning, struck out 1, faced 3, gave up no hits, no runs. Dillo, all 3 outs he recorded were strikeouts. As this pitch, some good velocity there from Cherry, but a ball. The count 1-1. Dillo did hit a man. That was Calvillo, as finding the inside corner here is Cherry. The count 1-2 to McKenna, the lefty batsman. This pitch to McKenna, and he swings it one high above the zone at the letters and comes up empty, 1 away. The arm looks pretty strong so far for Cherry, able to get McKenna. McKenna now 13 for 52 on the season. An even 250. No home runs for McKenna, still just 11 RBIs, but it's been a welcome at the bottom of the order for the Crawdads, and he lines this into center. Takes a wicked bounce. Now it's tailing into right center. Is Cummings going to stop at first? He is. Looked for a moment, perhaps, that he might try to take second with the wheels that we know Casey has. But he's over at first. That is hit number 17 for Casey Cummings, 17 for 71. Hitting just above 225. And the lineup card turns over. Here's Coleman Schmidt. Schmidt 0 for 1 today. Grounded out 6-3. Now the Crawdads hitless no more. Their second base runner and their first hit of the evening. A check swing there from Schmidt, and he did hold up. So the count 1-0. Defensively, Schmidt has been just a joy to watch for the season. And over the course of this season as well, offensively, he's had just some great moments, whether it's hitting with the bases loaded or able to be the first player in Crawdads history to hit for the cycle. As here's the 2-0 from Cherry, and taking high and inside is Schmidt. The count 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Cummings over at first, 4-0 Healdsburg. But he can really do it all. Sure, he's excited to get down to slow and playing some playoff baseball as this pitch misses high, and that's a 4-pitch walk for Coleman Schmidt. So after the first 2 innings where the Crawdads offensively were dormant, some signs of life here in the top of the third, and here is the switch hitting second baseman Tyson Corrio, who's once again batting lefty against the righty Cherry. Corrio, although looked very good batting righty in BP today, he's definitely working on it. The first pitch to Corrio misses high and outside, and the count 1-0. So after Cherry came in and quickly struck out Andrew McKenna, gave up a hit to Cummings, who's now over at second, and then a 4-pitch walk of Schmidt. And he just threw his 5th consecutive ball to Tyson Corrio. Setting at the belt is Cherry, fires, and Corrio smokes this back up the middle, but it's fielded by the second baseman Vuletic, who flips on to second for 1. The relay, it is in time. Corrio bats into a 4-6-3 double play that kills any hopes of a third inning rally for the Crawdads. They still trail by 4. It is 4-0 Healdsburg. Bottom of the third coming up when we return here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the third inning. Crawdads still scoreless. It's 4-0 Healdsburg. Runyon checked his swing there, but it was a strike. Valerio still on the mound for the Dads. The 0-1 pitch to Runyon, and he hits this hard on the ground. Deep in the hole is the shortstop, Calvillo. I'm surprised he was even able to make that throw accurately over to first. A good effort from Calvillo, but an infield single for Braden Runyon. Runyon now 2 for 2 with a couple of hits. I thought that ball was going to end up in left, but maybe you shouldn't underestimate Cameron Calvillo and his range out there at short. Not only can he do damage with the bat, but boy, he can cover a lot of ground. Here's Carson Crawford. Pitch to Crawford, and knee high for strike number 1. Now, you kind of feel for Valerio almost, because the 2 starts that he has made this summer have both been against Healdsburg in Healdsburg. The 0-1 pitch. This misses low. The count 1-1. So nothing like a welcome to the CCL by playing what many people think are the best team in the CCL, the Healdsburg Prune Packers. 1-1 pitch. This is chopped on the ground down the third base line, but foul. Barnhart made a reach for it, but the count 1-2. No Ryan Ellis today. Barnhart over at third, and I think Barnhart's done a good job when he has seen limited action at third base. And the 1-2. Taking, and momentarily the ball gets away from McKenna. The count 2-2. Crawford lined out to center in his first at-bat in the bottom of the first. But he was robbed of a hit, maybe extra bases, and definitely some RBIs by a diving Coleman Schmidt out in center field. 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Hit him down, Antoine Valerio. Valerio, at times, he can overpower batters. He can also fool guys with the breaking stuff. But he looks pretty good, even though he's been tagged with 4 runs. Pitch here is chopped on the ground. Ranging over is Calvillo, but out of the reach of Calvillo, it ends up in center. And that's a hit for Liam Little, who now has his first hit in CCL North competition. Of course, that means that is his first hit against another CCL North team, so a good moment there for the number 9 hitter, Liam Little. Up until that at-bat, Little was 0 for 1 with a strikeout, one of the 5 strikeouts that Valerio has registered this evening. There's just 1 out, runners on first and second. Jake Holcroft up to bat. He's 0 for 1. Check that, he's 1 for 2. He was 0 for 1, now he's 1 for 2. Had a hit and a stolen base, and Holcroft, a screamer there, high in the caging above the dugout of the Prune Packers. But in 8 previous games, Liam Little against CCL North teams was hitless. So really a nice moment for the Prune Packers catcher. 0-1 pitch misses low, the count 1-1. Of course, Little did not get to play a lot of catcher this season for the Prune Packers, because how can you not play Kimball Schuessler as much as possible? 1-1 pitch. This is hit on a line over to second baseman Corrio. Knocks him down. He's back up with it. Throws over to first for an out. The Crawdads able to get an out on the play, but that ball was scorched. And Corrio reached up to get it and knocked him down. That's how hard that ball was hit. Advancing on the play is Little and Runyon. And here's Zach Vuletich, still 0 for with a couple of walks. Pitch here to Vuletich misses low, the count 1-0. Runyon at third, Little at second. This pitch a big swing and a miss. Swinging an axe there was Vuletic. Runyon reached on an infield single. Then there was the strikeout of Crawford. Little had a hit. And Holcroft just bounced out 4-3. Although I probably shouldn't say bounced out. Tried to hit that through the second baseman, Corrio. Count 2-1 as Valerio now doing some housekeeping on the mound. Really mucking it up there with his cleat. Trying to find some footing. The 2-1 pitch. And this misses far outside. The count 3 balls and a strike. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Healdsburg up by 4. It's 4-0. Swing and a miss. A good pitch from Valerio. And when Valerio has that slider working for him, I think it's very hard to locate for these hitters. And Valerio's very adept at going low and away with it. He's not worried about missing. I think McKenna's done a good job of keeping the ball in front of him as well tonight. Valerio about to make pitch number 74, and it's fouled out of play. So Valerio looking to get out of his third inning of work. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, 2 runners in scoring position. And pitch number 75 on the way from Valerio to Zach Vuletic, as now time is called by Vuletic. He's back in the box. Righty against righty. Valerio wants to go now. The 3-2, and this misses low and in. So pitch number 75 is ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Vuletic has drawn 3 walks tonight. And here's Kramer, who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout, but in the first he walked and came around to score. And Valerio have to work out of the jam. Pitch here to Kramer, looking for that slider low and away, but could not induce a swing. And the count 1-0. Kramer definitely in the running for Offensive Player of the Year this year in the CCL, and he gets all of this one, hits it high and deep, and that is across the street past the left field fence. That is a grand slam for Kramer. Kramer just opened this game wide open. It is now 8-0 Healdsburg. And in the season finale for the CCL, the Prune Packers are putting on a show. There was no doubt about that one. Now you just got to wonder, was that as far as Brian DeRoff's major league shot? The one that DeRoff had was the last time the Prune Packers hosted the Crawdads, but Kramer may have just one-upped him there. It is 8-0 Healdsburg after Joey Kramer annihilates the baseball and clears the bases. Burke, a swing and a miss. It's 8-0 now, Healdsburg. For Kramer, his 11th home run of the season on that grand slam, and Burke thinking about getting a home run for himself. Hits this deep but foul and to the bullpen area, past the bullpen area of the Crawdads. And with those 4 RBIs, Kramer is now at 51 in a season. Burke pokes at this, hits it fair down the first base line. It kicks off of the glove of DeRoff, who tried to make a stop there. And Burke, fortunate there to have a hit. DeRoff pretty good at making those sliding stops, but Burke a hit. Now he's over at first. Burke now 2 for 2. Sam Brown will come up to bat. Healdsburg in control, 8-0. They've scored 4 here thanks to Kramer. Kramer with a grand slam. First pitch here is a strike. Count 0-1. Able to hit. Location on the inner half was Valerio. To Brown, who's 1 for 2, a strikeout and a 2 RBI single. The 0-1 pitch to Brown, and he fouls this on the right side. Count 0-2. So for Kramer, now I definitely don't think there is a discussion to be had about who is the Offensive Player of the Year. The position player of the year in the CCL. It has to be Kramer. 51 RBIs in 46 games. And this is hit back up the box. Diving is the shortstop Calvillo, but that gets by him into center field. And back-to-back two-out singles for the Prune Packers. And Joe Brown, brother of Sam Brown, is coming in to pinch run for Blake Burke. So he's over at second. Burke's evening is through. And here is the big righty clubber, Jared Sundstrom, who hits this high and deep and far. And that clears the fences. Sundstrom with his 15th home run of the season. And it's a big old banger, as it is now 11-0 Healdsburg. Well, that's a pretty great combination in the lineup when you can go from Kramer and then just 2 spots later it's Jared Sundstrom. Sundstrom now with 4 RBIs tonight. And the Walnut Creek Crawdads really just getting the brakes beat off of them right now. So it's 11-0, 2 away in the bottom of the third. Prune Packers have put up 7 in this half inning. This is another hard hit ball by Runyon, but straight to the shortstop Calvillo, throws the first for out number 3, but not before the Prune Packers can strike for 7. They get a couple of big home runs, a grand slam from Joey Kramer, and then a CCL leading 15th home run of the season for Jared Sundstrom. 11-0 Healdsburg, top of the 4th coming up. Almost the end of the game, actually, since it's a 7-inning game, so not a long one tonight. And luckily for the Crawdads, it is just a 7-inning game as they are down 11-0. We'll have more Crawdads baseball here when we return on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 4th, 11-0 Healdsburg. They have a new pitcher on the mound once again. It is Sitzman. Sam Sitzman, 6'4" righty from Ohlone. He's making his debut tonight. Sitzman kind of with that sidearm delivery. Also wears a sleeve on the pitching arm. Tries to keep that weapon warm. But the Crawdads down big. It's 11-0 Healdsburg. And really things got busted open in the bottom of the 3rd just moments ago. A grand slam from Kramer and then a 3-run bomb from Jared Sundstrom. So Joey Donnelly going to lead things off here for the Crawdads, who are just trying to get something going here. Still just 1 hit tonight for the Dads. It's Donnelly, Duroff, Benshow. Donnelly 0 for 1, so 3, 4, and 5 for the Dads. The lefty Donnelly against the newly inserted righty, Sam Sitzman. The first pitch from Sitzman, there's that sidearm delivery. This is a bit high, the count 1-0. Oh, on the way to the ballpark this afternoon, just kind of wondering what we would see out of both of these teams. The 1-0 pitch, and Donnelly was looking to hit that high and deep, but got under it, fouled it up and right near the Prune Packer dugout, but a game that doesn't have playoff implications in it. Kind of wondering the performances we would see. The 1-1 pitch to Donnelly. This misses in. The count 2-1. And I do think it's surprising that it's 11-0 Healdsburg. Not that they're not a great team, but just didn't know that this would be the offensive explosion we would see from them against a very good Walnut Creek Crawdads team as this pitch misses low. There is an advantage, however, to the Crawdads in this game with regard to them is, might be kind of nice to get one of these games out of the way, a game where you're not playing your best baseball. The 3-1 pitch to Donnelly. He chops this on the ground, takes a couple of hops over to the second baseman, Vuletich, who makes an easy throw over to first. For out number one, it's 11-0 Healdsburg, top of the fourth, and here comes Brian DeRoff, who's very comfortable hitting here in Healdsburg, but it kind of gives the Crawdads, or if it was the other way around, would give Healdsburg, either of these teams, an opportunity to kind of get a game like this out of their systems and preserve some arms. Of course, Valerio, who started tonight, is not going to be with the team for the playoffs, so it's not all doom and gloom. The first pitch to DeRoff, and he hits this hard, but speared over at third by Kramer. Goes across the diamond to get DeRoff. A couple of quick outs now. There's two down, and here comes Jack Ben Shoshan. So 2 straight at-bats with ground ball outcomes. Donnelly now 0 for 2. DeRoff now 0 for 2. And here's Jack Ben Shoshan, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout tonight. Struck out looking, and Ben Sho takes in, and it actually hits him on the elbow. Interesting. Jack did not react as if that ball hit him, but the home plate umpire right on top of it. And here comes Cameron Calvillo, who in his first at-bat was hit by a pitch in the lower half. Calvillo will be with the team for the playoffs. Crawdads are going to need him, his bat, and his glove. Pitch misses high and in. Count 1-0. It is nice, though, that these two teams did decide to play this makeup game. The 1-0 pitch, and Calvillo reaches down to golf at this, hits this high and deep into left. But right on it is the left fielder, Runyon. Looked like that ball was going to carry a bit farther than it did. Kind of died out there and left, similar to what Calvillo did on Sunday against Sonoma, where he thought he had a home run. This time he was booking it, however. But the Crawdads not able to convert with a runner on first. It is still 11-0 Prune Packers. Game moving quickly, bottom of the fourth coming up when we return here from Healdsburg on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Antoine Valerio is out of the game. Ben Lake on the mound now, bottom of the fourth inning. Crawdads down by a bunch. It's 11-0 Healdsburg here in Healdsburg, California. I wanted to say here with you. It's just a 7-inning ball game tonight. So we are halfway through 3.5. And Carson Crawford going to lead off for the Prune Packers, who are firmly in command here tonight. It's 8-9-1, Crawford, Little, and Holcroft. Of course, Blake Burke now out of the game. Joe Brown in his spot. But everything else the same on the lineup card for the Prune Packers. Crawford 0 for 2 tonight. A line out with a stellar diving catch made by Coleman Schmidt in his first at-bat in center, and then a strikeout in the third. First pitch from Lake misses high. Count 1-0. Ben Lake from UC Berkeley, 6'3" righty. He's played with two teams this summer in the CCL. The 1-0 pitch. No, we got into that when he first arrived. This misses low. The count 2-0. Made a couple of appearances with the Arroyo Seco Saints. Had a 4.50 ERA with them. 2-0 pitch, and this has popped up sky high, but drifting out of play near the concession stands. They count 2-1. With the Crawdads, he's making his fourth appearance. And with Walnut Creek, he's an ERA up at 9. 3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits. As this is hit deep to center field. Tracking it is the center fielder Schmidt, who has it about 20 feet in front of the ivy. And that ball would have been gone in Monte Vista, folks. That was a huge swing of the bat there from Crawford. But Recreation Park, which has been here for let's do the math. It's 2022, 122 years this park has been here. It kept Crawford in the ballpark. But that would have been gone in Monte Vista. That would have been gone in a lot of ballparks, maybe with the exception of Sonoma, which also has a very deep center field. Count 1-0. Here to Liam Little. 1-0 pitch is fouled back. Little was able to record his first hit against CCL North competition in this ball game in his last at-bat in the third. Later came around to score. So a nice moment for Liam. The 1-1 pitch to Liam Little, and he hits this on the ground over to the shortstop. Valerio ranges deep and makes a good throw over to first to just get Liam by a couple of steps. Little was running hard there, and even though he's a catcher, we all know how fast Liam can run, and he almost got to first, but a good, strong throw by Valerio to beat Little out. So there's 2 away. It's 11-0 Healdsburg. And here's Jake Holcroft. So for the season, the line on Lake, a 7.20 ERA. Trying to get through an offensively uneventful inning of work here for the Crawdads. Wonder how long he'll go. The 1-0 pitch, and this just misses inside. Lake was aiming for the inner corner there. Holcroft 1 for 3. A fly out in the first, a single in the second, a ground out in the third, and this misses in as well. After getting a couple of quick outs there, Ben Lake down 3-0 here against Jake Holcroft, the designated hitter this evening for the Prune Packers. McKenna waiting for a good one, and it bounces up to him instead, so not the pitch that McKenna wanted and not what Lake wanted to put out there. And kind of a stare there between McKenna and Lake. Wonder if Lake was a little frustrated with the pitch call or if McKenna was tapping on the chest instead to say, it's okay, you'll get the next one. Oh, it's a walk of Holcroft, and here's Zach Vuletich, who has no issues taking a walk. As he hits this over to third, Barnhart has it, throws across the baseball diamond for out number 3. So for the first time tonight, a Crawdads pitcher is able to put in the ledger a inning of work where they have not let any runs come by. So a good job there by Ben Lake. But it's stimming up here in Healdsburg. Top of the 5th. It is 11-0. Healdsburg with the lead. And Barnhart going to lead things off. It's still Sam Sitzman on the mound for the Prune Packers. Oh, he's going to get multiple innings, it looks like, after Ben Lake was able to pitch a shutout inning for the first time for the Crawdads this evening. Sitzman, the 4th pitcher used tonight by Joey Gomes and the Prune Packers, as Barnhart takes low, the count 1-0. The Crawdads just with 1 hit so far tonight in Healdsburg. The 1-0 pitch. This misses high and in. The count 2-0. Pretty good crowd tonight here in Healdsburg for the season finale. No, they just had fan appreciation night in their last game. The 2-0 pitch, a big swing and a miss from Barnhart. The count 2-1. This game, however, shaping up a lot differently than when the Crawdads were last here. That was on Tuesday, July 26th. An 8-3 victory for the Dads as Barnhart takes low. The count now 3 balls and a strike. Hitter's count for the righty Barnhart. Barnhart 0 for 1 this evening with a strikeout, and he has to duck out of the way here, but still gets hit. But luckily for Barnhart, it just grazed him on the bicep instead of square on the shoulder. So Sitzman hits Barnhart. The Crawdads have a base runner here with nobody out. And here comes Andrew McKenna. So that is the 3rd Crawdad who has been hit by a pitch tonight. Pitch to McKenna, and the side armor slings in a strike there. Sitzman. I like that delivery. I always like when a pitcher has that angle. It makes it tough, although I'm not sure why Sitzman elects to wear a black sleeve on his right arm, as this pitch is fouled back. And the reason I say that is you want to make it as hard as possible for these hitters to pick the ball up. And when you wear a black sleeve, and with the baseball being white, it does make it a little less challenging for the hitters. I think about Ty Atkins, especially at night, did not wear a sleeve, of course. The ball just came straight out of his shoulder. The 0-2 pitch to McKenna. He takes high. A good eye there from the catcher for the Crawdads. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. But you know, that sleeve on the right arm, now in terms of keeping the arm warm, it's a great idea. The 1-2 to McKenna. McKenna swings, and he foul tipped this, and it was off the mask of the catcher, Liam Little, and then bounced back to the pitcher. Sitzman. That's something you don't see too often. That one kind of ambushed Little behind the plate there. So we'll do 1-2 again. Here it is. McKenna connects, hits this high and deep to left. Moving back is Brown in left field, has it at the warning track for the out. So Brown is now in left. Runyon's out. Burke's out. And Casey Cummings coming up to the plate. Over at second, or at first rather, for the Prune Packers is Sam Brown. So both the brothers Brown in the game for the Prune Packers as Cummings down 0-1. So Runyon moved from left to right. Sam Brown, who started in right, now at first. And Joe Brown in left. So want to get that all cleared up. The 1-1 to Casey. This misses low. The count, 2 balls a strike. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. It's 11-0 Healdsburg, but the Crawdads with Barnhart over at first. And the 2-1. Cummings takes a high strike call there, and the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's not often that you have a team with siblings on it, but the Prune Packers have that this year. I guess that happens more often in summer ball as Cummings laces this hard down the left field line. It stays fair. Cummings going to round first. He's headed for second. Digging it out is Joe Brown in left field against the fence. He's able to get it back in. A bit of a wild throw. But the Crawdads now with 2 runners in scoring position. That's a double for Casey Cummings. Lineup card turns over. It's Coleman Schmidt, who's 0 for 1. Grounded out 6-3 and then walked in the 3rd. He led things off tonight. And instead of Coleman Schmidt, it's actually a pinch hitter. It's Ryan Brome. So there's definitely going to be some defensive changes for the Crawdads. You wonder who's going to take that center field spot. Coleman Schmidt out of the game now. Here's Ryan Brome. Brome, the lefty, takes. Looking down at the scorebook, and you can hear ringing over the PA here. Coleman Schmidt was up at bat. Then you see a lefty, and it's Ryan Brome. Runners have their leads from second and third. Cummings at second, Barnhart over to third. The 1-0 pitch, Brome tried to get into this, but not able to square it up. It's foul. And the count 1-1. Really pleased with the crowd here tonight in Healdsburg for the season finale of the CCL. The CCL has sent some representatives here this evening just to see how everything is. They should definitely be happy. The 1-1 pitch. Brome hits this high and deep to right field. That gets down at the fence. It's definitely going to score Barnhart from third. Cummings now rounding third. He's in. The throw to the plate. Almost in time, but Cummings slides in safely. Kicks up a cloud of dust as well. That was a great throw from Runyon over there in right center. Got a lot of gas on that ball, but he was not able to beat Cummings to the plate. It is now 11-2. The Prune Packers lead by 9.
Next to the Crawdads from Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, second baseman number 13, Tyson Corrio.
A 2 RBI double for Ryan Brome, who pinch hit for Coleman Schmidt. Here's Tyson Corrio, no pinch hitter here. Still just 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Crawdads trying to find some positivity in this ball game. Scoring runs will help. The first pitch to Corrio misses outside. Corrio batting lefty. He's only seen righty tonight. The 1-0 pitch to Tyson, he takes outside, and that's the Corrio that Austin, Oda, and myself, that's the one that we love seeing lefty Corrio. It's not that he can't swing the bat right-handed, but he really just elevates the ball so well when he's batting lefty. Swing path's a little different. The 2-0 pitch to Corrio. He takes outside here. The count 3-0. Do want to mention this, Crawdads fans. Austin Oda not in the booth today, the DVB Insurance broadcast booth on the road. That's because he's suited up. He is kitted out right now in Crawdads red and gray, and he's in the dugout. And he is donning the number 6, a number that Kai Moody wore in his short stint here this summer, as that's a walk to Tyson Corrio. But we're happy for Austin. That was a dream of his to be able to suit up for a game for the dad. So he's not commentating tonight. He's over in the dugout, and looks like he's in the ear of manager Brant Cummings. He's leaning over the railing right there in the bunkers here at Recreation Park. Those are the dugouts, the old school dugouts where, back maybe 50, 60 years ago, you'd see guys sit on top of the dugouts. Of course, maybe a little dangerous to do that, as this ball is bounced and the runners will advance. Donnelly is 0 for 2 tonight, but he's got 2 runners in scoring position to try and drive in. Donnelly sitting on 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. If the Crawdads could get him heated up here as they get ready to go to the playoffs, that would be a very good sign for them as a team. He's a very powerful bat, but hasn't been seeing the results that he's wanted lately. The 1-0 pitch misses high. Donnelly not going to swing at that. The count 2-0. For Brome, those 2 runs he drove in with the double. RBIs number 38 and 39. Have a season, Ryan Brome. And getting under this is Donnelly. It's popped up in foul territory on the right side. Is that going to land? It will not. It is caught by Liam Little in front of the Crawdads dugout. Having to get off of his seat there was manager Brant Cummings. And good on Brant. He knew Liam was going to make a play on that. Wasn't going to obstruct. And there's 2 down. And Donnelly now 0 for 3 with that pop out to the catcher in foul territory. And here's Brian Duroff, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout in the second and a 5-3 groundout in the fourth. But the Crawdads have scored 2 in the top of the 5th. It's 11-2 Healdsburg, however. The pitch to Duroff, and big leg kick there from Duroff. Really waited on that ball, but fouled it away. Lands on one of the roofs of the barns here, past the bleachers down the first base line. Crawdads got to honor Mr. Ralph Ojeda, one of the coaches for the Crawdads, in the season finale at home for the Dads on Sunday. As this pitch misses, the count 1-1. Honored him for his service to the country. He's a Vietnam veteran, and also for his service to his community and the Crawdads team. He's always out there, doing whatever needs to be done, and we always love Ralph's help. So honoring him on Sunday, and tonight Austin Oda being honored by being allotted the opportunity to don the Crawdads red. Duroff takes a strike on the outside corner. The count 1-2. So it's been a fun year for the Crawdads, a fun summer. Qualified for the playoffs, their second year in the CCL. This iteration of the Crawdads, that is. And that's a strike. Knee high. Duroff doesn't like it. He's punched out for the second time. He's signaling to the home plate umpire that was low. Duroff then turns back to have a few more words with the umpire, and now he's back in the dugout. But the Crawdads are able to get 2 runs thanks to Ryan Brome, who was able to drive in a couple of men. It is 11-2 Healdsburg. Unfortunately for the Crawdads, they do strand 2 men in scoring position. Healdsburg leads by 9. More Crawdads baseball when we return. Bottom of the fifth, the Crawdads were able to score 2 runs in the top half of the inning, thanks to Ryan Brome, who is now in left field. So Brome pinch hit for Coleman Schmidt. Brome is now in left. Jack Ben Shoshan, who is in left, now moves to center, coming still in right. So Schmidt out of the game, Brome in. Lake still on the mound for the Crawdads, who trail by 9. It is 11-2 Healdsburg. Loudon Brooks at bat. He is now in the game. And this pitch, he fouls off of his leg. Brooks, a defensive specialist for this Healdsburg team this year. Got a great glove. Think of the great defenders in the CCL this year. Cameron Calvillo, even though he hasn't been here this long, he's definitely up there. As this is fouled back. Count even 2-2. I also think of Alex Govea up in Sonoma. He's made some wonderful plays at short. Brooks, he's just solid. He gets in front of everything. Looks like Brooks will probably play third the rest of the way tonight for Healdsburg. He foul tips this into McKenna's glove, and that's a strikeout. So Brooks now 0 for 1, and here comes Joe Brown. One down, 11-2, Prune Packers. Joe Brown in the box. And the righty Brown takes. Sam Brown, his brother, in the on-deck circle. Oh, Kramer's day done officially now. Pretty darn good day at the office. A walk in the first, a strikeout in the second, but a grand slam in the third. Misses outside. The count 1-1. So some switches being made by both teams. That's in there. Lake been good tonight so far in his relief appearance for Valerio. Authors another strike. So Vuletic, who Brooks pinch hit for, Kramer's over at third. As Brown hits this high, shallow center. Coming in is Jack Ben Shoshan, but it's actually going to be Cameron Calvillo, the shortstop, who makes the catch. They kind of crane the neck around the support beam here. And here's Sam Brown. But you wonder if Brooks is going to play over at third, or where they're going to put him. Are they going to switch Crawford over to third and then put Brooks at short? So we'll have to see what the Prune Packers have for the crowd here on defense the next time they're out in the field. But there's 2 down. It's 11-2 Healdsburg. And here's Sam Brown. I just saw his brother hit a lazy fly ball into the outfield grass that was caught by Calvillo. And Sam ahead 1-0 here. Brown's 2 for 3. Had a 2 RBI single in the second. The 1-0 pitch, and Brown swings through a fastball high. Home plate umpire indicating that he foul tipped that into the mid of McKenna. The count 1-1. Pitch there, off target from Lake. And the 0-1 pitch. This misses low. The count 2 balls and a strike. So far, the Prune Packers 11 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Crawdads 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors themselves. Good news for Crawdads fans out there. The Walnut Creek Crawdads have already clinched a playoff spot. 3-1 pitch, and this is fouled at home plate. Ricochets off of Brown. Sam Brown, that is. Now, one of the key ways to tell Sam Brown and Joe Brown apart, Sam has more closely cropped hair, and Joe has bleach blonde hair. It is, like platinum blonde, as that's a walk there. Brown ends up over at first. But that's how I always tell them apart. Can't always see the jersey. And it looks like our old friend Sam Hunt is going to pinch hit for Jared Sundstrom. Joey Gomes unloading the bench here tonight. First pitch to Hunt. This bounces low. McKenna has it. Count 1-0. Good job snagging that by McKenna. Did not allow Brown to advance. But Sam Hunt was a Crawdad last year. He's a Prune Packer this year. The 1-0 pitch to Hunt. This misses high, and McKenna does not squeeze it with the mitt. And one of the things McKenna needs to work on is just being more sure-handed there with that glove. He does a great job scrambling out in front. That mitt sometimes does let him down. Brown able to take second. The count, 2 balls, no strikes. Hunt reached down to get a ball there, but a little late. Fouled away. As Lake steps off, now back on the rubber. Righty Lake against the lefty Hunt. The pitch, and this misses low and in. McKenna didn't have trouble with that one. That count 3 balls and a strike. Usually wouldn't say this on a broadcast in the 5th inning, but we're in the later innings here. Just a couple of more to go. The 3-1, and this misses high. That's a walk. After walking Sam Brown, Sam Hunt gets the free pass. And here comes Kimball Schuessler. First pitch to Schuessler. Not what I think Lank was aiming there. Not what he was aiming for. The count 1-0. Schuessler checks his swing. Kimball Schuessler, catcher from Texas. At 2-0 here against Lake. And this pitch misses low. So Lake losing the control here. A lot of substitutions and pinch hits and defensive switches for both these teams, and that's another walk. The bases are now loaded.
Number 10, Carson Crawford.
Kimball Schuessler draws a walk. Pinch hitting for Braden Runyon. Brown moves up to third. Hunt moves to second. Kimball now on first, and here's Carson Crawford. Really going to have to get the binoculars out during the innings break and see what Joey Gomes is going to put on the field defensively coming up here soon. What is interesting, and I think of some import here, is Kimball Schuessler, who's on base now, plays catcher primarily. He's a catcher for the Prune Packers, but Liam Little, the catcher tonight, still has his catching gear on in the on-deck circle. Not sure if Kimball's going to come in and catch or if it's still going to be Liam. You would think it'd be Liam Little since he's still got the leg protectors on. His pitch here to Crawford misses away. The count 1-0. Crawford tonight 0 for 3. Bases loaded, 2 away, 11-2 Prune Packers. Lake does not want to walk in a run. The count 2-0. Lake has missed out a few times. He just missed low and in there. And he's just looking for a ground ball or something easy for his defense. The 2-0 pitch, and this is going to be popped up on the left side. Moving back is Calvillo all the way from short. He calls off Barnhart and Brome and makes the catch. So even with the bases loaded and 3 walks being issued there by Lake, the Prune Packers aren't able to get anything out of it. It is still 11-2 Prune Packers, however. Top of the 6th coming up when we return, and we're going to have all these defensive switches for Healdsburg cleared up when we get back here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Jack Ben Shoshan in the box, top of the 6, 11-2 Healdsburg. Took the first pitch. Count 1-0. Ben Show hits this high, far right field, moving back on it. Is the right fielder Runyon who has it for the out.
Illinois College, shortstop, number 15, Calvillo.
So here's Cam Calvillo. First pitch to Calvillo. He's not able to hold his swing up. Excuse me. Calvillo not able to hold up. The count 0-1. Second pitch to Calvillo. He fouls this away. The count 0-2. One down here in the top of the 6th. Crawdads were able to score 2 their last time at bat. 0-2 pitch, just missing a bit outside. And the count 1-2. One-two pitch, and that brings Calvillo up. Now Calvillo maybe got lucky with the first pitch outside, but not that one. That was right on the outer edge. Stasiowski, the new pitcher for the Prune Packers, really a nice job. Oh, here is Barnhart. First pitch to Barnhart, outside edge for a strike. I can finally tell you who is playing defense now for the Prune Packers. It looks a lot different than it did earlier. The 0-1 pitch to Barnhart, misses low and in. Little still catching, but Schuessler over at first now. Vuletic still at second. Crawford switches from shortstop to third. Brooks now in at short. Joe Brown in left. Sam Hunt in there for Jared Stromstrom at center. And Sam Brown at right. A lot of names scratched down, penciled in into different spots. The count 1-2 to Barnhart, but glad we got that all cleared up. Saw a litany of pinch hitters last half inning for the Prune Packers. The 1-2 pitch to Barnhart just misses in the dirt. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 away, top of the 6th. Crawdads down by 9. They have 2 runs. Healdsburg with 11. Healdsburg using a 7-run inning earlier in the ball game, a grand slam and a 3-run homer in that inning. As Barnhart takes outside, count runs full, 3-2. And that was that 3rd inning that the Prune Packers were able to bat around in. Sundstrom had a big 3-run homer, home run number 15, and Kramer had a grand slam. Payoff pitch, and that's right there on the outside corner. Barnhart can't believe it. He goes down looking. So the Crawdads not offering much resistance in the top of the 6th. They're still down by 9. It's 11-2 Healdsburg. Bottom of the 6th coming up here on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Bottom of the sixth, 11-2, Healdsburg. Alon Deshay here with you from Healdsburg, California. Crawdads have been chasing this game from the get-go. They gave up 2 runs in the first, 2 runs in the second, 7 runs in the third. They were able to score 2 of their own in the fifth, but that's been all. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Crawdads. It's Diamond Loosely. Loosely comes in 2-0 with a 10.28 ERA. This will be his 7th appearance. He's thrown 7 innings in 6 previous outings. 6 strikeouts, 8 walks, 12 hits given up. He has seen the Packers once this season through an inning where he gave up 4 earned runs. That was a 12-0 shutout victory for Healdsburg back on July 14th. It's going to be Liam Little leading off, 9-1-2 for the Prune Packers. Pending any more pinch hits, you just wonder who they're going to send up there. Liam Little in the box now on deck. Holcroft was batting in the 1 spot. Check on who's on deck here in a second as this pitch misses low. Loosely, his best pitch is the slider. And it looks like Blake McDonald is going to hit next. Able to fire a good one by him as Loosely, the count 2-1. So a lot of changes tonight. A lot to keep up with for the PA announcers here. 2-1 pitch. This misses high. The count 3-1. So it'll be Little, who's in the box right now, who's ahead 3 balls and a strike. Then McDonald, who will be in for Vuletich. McDonald, a catcher from St. Mary's. This pitch misses low. Or excuse me, McDonald going to hit for a Holcroft. Then it'll be Zach Vuletich. So Little gets on with a walk. Little still 1 for 3, but now 1 for 3 with a walk. And here's McDonald. Loosely, high set. And the pitch to McDonald. In there for a strike. McDonald checked his swing, but it was a strike anyway. McDonald hitting .267 in 37 games, 105 at-bats for the Prune Packers this year. 6 home runs, 25 driven in. Little just off of first, a good job making sure this ball doesn't get by him by the catcher, Andrew McKenna. The count 1-1. So just 1 change defensively for the Crawdads this evening in the final game of the CCL 2022 regular season. 1-1 pitch to McDonald. This runs outside. The count 2-1. But a host of changes for Joey Gomes and the Prune Packers. But you figure that would be just about it. Seems to me that he has emptied his dugout out. Everybody's getting a chance to play tonight. Loudon Brooks in the hole. Vuletich on deck. Nobody out here. 11-2 Prune Packers, the 2-1. This bounces up. A back pick attempt by McKenna. Is the tag there? It is not in time. Back in safely is Liam Little. 3 balls and a strike. Pitch to McDonald. He takes outside, and that's a walk. So back-to-back walks issued by Diamond Loosely out of the pen. So McDonald, who just pinch hit for Jake Holcroft. Holcroft was the DH. You figure McDonald will stay there the rest of the game. Holcroft's evening over. As here's Zach Vuletich. Holcroft finished 1 for 3 with a walk and an RB. Here's Vuletich. First pitch to Vuletich. I was going to say Holcroft had an RBI. He had a run scored. That was back in the second. He also had a stolen base that does not show up on the point streak in-game live if you're also following along there. Holcroft had a very good night leading off for the Prune Packers. Vuletich has walked 3 times tonight. Pitch misses high. He is 0 for 1 though officially, but he's also come around to score 3 times, and he has a stolen base. And now a little chat happening on the mound between the catcher McKenna and Diamond Loosely, the pitcher. McKenna looks pretty emphatic there, making some arm motions. I think just telling Diamond, get through this here. You know you can do it. I know you can do it. 2 balls, no strikes to Vuletich. Loudon, Brooks on deck. Kramer out of the game. That's who Brooks is in for. 2-0 pitch to Vuletich. Looking for the inside corner, but can't locate it. The count 3-0. Holcroft out. McDonald in. McDonald the one over at first. And Liam Little over at second. 3-0 pitch. Loosely fires, looking for a strike here. He finds one. The count 3-1. And it appears as if it is someone's birthday here in Healdsburg. Hear people singing happy birthday somewhere in the grandstands. The 3-1 pitch, and this misses everything. That's a walk. Diamond Loosely has come out of the bullpen and walked the first 3 men he has faced. Missed wildly there. Luckily for Loosely, you'd say usually it's not a good thing if that pitch is the 4th pitch for a ball, but he missed so far outside that both runners could have advanced, and had McKenna not been able to pick up the ball, you never know what's going to happen. Some more damage could have been done there by the Prune Packers, as now manager Brant Cummings is out there to talk with Loosely and McKenna, and the home plate umpire getting in on it as well. So just kind of wonder what's being discussed. Of course, our on-field mic is not on the field tonight. It's up here in the grandstands, but still picks everything up for you kind listeners at the ballpark or at home. I know some people like to follow along here around at the ballpark, but Diamond Loosely going to stay in the ball game, but there's nobody out. It's 11-2 Healdsburg, and the bases are now loaded. Coming up to bat is Loudon Brooks. Brooks 0 for 1 this evening. And the first pitch to the righty Brooks from Diamond Loosely misses in. For the Crawdads, who have clinched a spot in the playoffs, the 1-0 pitch, this misses low. Might be advantageous that they're getting this out of their systems now. Tournament, however, is double elimination, so you are afforded 1 loss. You do not want to lose 2. 2-0 pitch to Brooks. This bounces low. The count 3 balls, no strikes. Diamond Loosely at risk of walking the 12th run in for the Prune Packers. See what Loosely has here on the 3-0. Brooks hits this on the ground over to Calvillo, has to wait at it, and he throws the second for 1, but the relay on to first is a little high. A run does score. Having to wait right there at the infield dirt was Calvillo. If that ball's hit a little harder, he's able to flip quicker over to second, and Corrio's able to turn it with more expediency, but not the case there. It is now 12-2 Healdsburg with 1 away. So an RBI for Loudon Brooks. They do get the out at second, though, to the Crawdads. And now there's going to be another arm coming out of the pen for Walnut Creek. So the Crawdads pitching staff getting a workout tonight. Loosely leaves with a couple of runners out there. Just gave up run number 12 in this ball game. And the Crawdads just have not been their usual selves tonight. And the man out of the bullpen is going to be Mark Perkins. So Perkins is usually a starter, the sophomore from Rice University. He's going to come out of the pen. Perkins comes in with a 6.03 ERA. He's been pretty good in situations where the bases have been loaded on him, or he inherits runners on, or even when he puts himself in a jam. He does have one previous bullpen appearance this summer. This will be his 9th appearance overall. He has 7 starts. In those 7 starts, he's 1-3, but Burke has thrown a decent amount of innings for the Crawdads this season. 31 1/3, 30 strikeouts, 18 walks, 44 hits given up. But right now, manager Brent Cummings just wants him to throw strikes and get through this. Because the Crawdads, although you want to win every game, this game is not of import so much in terms of what can possibly happen. The playoff seeding is set. This is more just about pride tonight. And Healdsburg has really shown up for their fans, and the Crawdads have had a lot of trouble tonight. So Perkins getting warm here. Runners at first and third. It's 12-2 Healdsburg. They have a 10-run lead. Little payback for the 8-3 victory a week ago here that the Crawdads had. And at that time, it was only the second home loss all season for the Prune Packers, as now Joe Brown stepping into the batter's box. McDonald over at third, Brooks at first. Liam Little has trotted on home to score, and the first pitch misses outside. Count 1-0. If you're just joining us, folks, it's just a 7-inning ball game this evening here in Healdsburg. And the 1-0 pitch to Brown. He cannot check his swing, and that's called a swing there. So you can see it on camera. That's how you tell the difference between Joe Brown and Sam Brown. The 1-1 pitch, and Joe Brown with the bleach blonde hair grounds this over to Barnhart at third, who hesitates for a couple of seconds before he ultimately throws on to first for out number 2, but another run comes home to score. That's Blake McDonald, who crosses home plate. It is now 13-2 Healdsburg. Just one runner out at second now. That's Loudon Brooks. And here, this pitch is chopped over to Calvillo, who has it, throws on to first, and a low throw. Was Droff able to dig it out? He was. Finally, the out call made there by the umpire. And that is the third out in the bottom of the 6th, but 2 more runs come across the score for Healdsburg. They lead 13-2. And the Crawdads going to have their last chance at bat if they want to try to tie this game up, but boy, that would be a miraculous half inning for them. They need 11 runs to tie things up and force extras, although I do wonder if this game would go extras, even though it's just a 7-inning ball game. So 13-2, Prune Packers lead. Top of the 7th coming up here from Healdsburg, California on the Crawdads Streaming Network. Top of the 7th, Andrew McKenna leading off for the Crawdads. We're down by 11. It's 13-2 Healdsburg. There's another pitcher on the mound for the Prune Packers, and quickly he authors a strike. It's number 25, Morgan White. White working quickly. McKenna takes. Now he's down 0-2. White comes in with a 2.03 ERA. This is his 13th appearance, 17 2/3 innings pitched. 29 strikeouts with just 10 walks and 5 hits given up. So White has been good. This pitch misses high. The count 1-2. Maybe changing the eye level there is the righty White against the lefty McKenna. McKenna 0-2 this evening. This pitch to McKenna misses low. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's 8-9-1 for the Dads. McKenna, Cummings, and Brome. 2-2 pitch to McKenna, and just missing up is White. The count 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Crawdads catcher. Payoff pitch to McKenna. McKenna connects, hits this into center. Back on it is Sam Hunt, who has it about 30 yards in front of the scoreboard that's in play for out number 1 in the top of the 7th. McKenna 0-3 now. He's flown out a couple of times. And here's Casey Cummings, who's 2-2. And Cummings lines this into left. Cummings taking a hard turnaround first. Now he will stop up and retreat back over to first. And let's see if he gets any advice here from newly inserted first base coach Austin Oda. Was Lovato over there, Ryan Lovato. Now it's Austin Oda, who is suited up in the Crawdads uniform. And he looks like a natural out there. So even though the Crawdads not having fun on the scoreboard, they're having fun around the dugout and out on the field. As Brome, off the end of the bat, a little flare out of the left, and it's caught by Brooks, who reaches the glove behind his head, just really stretched the hand out and made that look effortless, even though it was a lot harder than the way he made it appear. Now there's 2 away. Brome now 1-2. Brome, the reason that the Crawdads have 2 runs. He had a 2 RBI double in his first at-bat. Here's Tyson Corrio. First pitch to Corrio, a fastball from White, strike 1. Even though the Prune Packers don't have Jason Franks anymore or Elijah Birdsong, they're still very deep, and Morgan White is one of those good, lively arms. The 0-1 pitch to Corrio. There's a curveball. That busts in on him for a strike, and the count 0-2. I think that caught Corrio off guard, because that was right there for him to hit. And gunning for the punch-out is White. The 0-2 pitch, and this misses low. The count, a ball and 2 strikes to Tyson Corrio. Cummings at first. He's been the best player tonight for the Crawdads offensively. And the 1-2 to Corrio as the crowd really trying to urge their man White to get a strikeout, but he just misses outside, and the count 2-2. Well, here if they ramp things up again with the volume. A crescendo of claps. The pitch, Corrio waves and misses. And it's a strikeout for Morgan White. The ball game is over. The Crawdads in the final time at bat were able to get Cummings on, but that was it. He's left stranded over at first. Morgan White comes in to close things down. Obviously not a save situation. The Prune Packers win 13-2, a night that the Crawdads will want to forget and really just throw that one in the trash and put it in the can and get ready for the playoffs on Thursday, 10 a.m. They will be playing the OC Riptide in the first round of the CCL playoffs. It'll be the 4-seed Crawdads against the number 5 seed OC Riptide. And we will have that game for you live from San Luis Obispo at Sinsheimer Park. But the Crawdads lose tonight to just very uncharacteristic game out of them offensively. They were riding a big winning streak. They are not able to end the season on a 6-game winning streak, but that's all right. They still qualify for the playoffs. And ultimately this game decided by the bats of the Prune Packers. And really, how can you not talk about Joey Kramer, who had a grand slam in the third, and then Jared Sundstrom, who hit his 15th home run of the season for the Packers. 15 leads all of the CCL, so just 2 great seasons out of those young men. Sundstrom and Kramer, who I don't see anybody else beating him out for player of the year. He's just been unstoppable, and he'll finish his season batting above 400, which, I mean, that's just remarkable, even if it is summer ball, really at any level of baseball. Once you get into the college ranks, something up at 400, you're doing a lot of things right. So the Crawdads drop the final game of the season tonight here in Healdsburg. Able to avenge the loss they had a week ago against Walnut Creek. They are now 37-10. That's how they'll finish things this season. 25-9, a very good 25-9 in CCL North play. So the Crawdads just not able to have the answers tonight. It was a bullpen game for both teams. Valerio made the start. He gets the loss. The win will go to Mr. Cherry, Grant Cherry, who came in out of the bullpen in relief. The man from Tennessee, he gets the decision. And that's just based on the rules, who has to get the decision. So Grant Cherry, the 6'3" righty, native of Birmingham, Alabama, gets the win. Valerio finishes season 0-1. And for Cherry, that win puts him over 500. He is now 3-2. Now, these two teams are getting ready to head down to San Luis Obispo. But before we leave you on the broadcast tonight, give you the final line score. 13 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For the Prune Packers, the Crawdads 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. So the Prune Packers win 13-2. The ball game started at 6:09, ended at 8:24. So a short ball game tonight, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Of course, it is going to be short when it's just a 7-inning game. So for Asinoda, I'm Alon to say thanks for joining us tonight, folks, and we will see you bright and early, 10 a.m. from San Luis Obispo, California, on Thursday, August 4th, when your Walnut Creek Crawdads will take on the OC Riptide in the 2022 CCL playoffs. It's been a wonderful season. Thank you for joining us, but there is more to come. Have a good night, everyone.